Get some analysis on this developing story. Linden Birns, who is the director of Plain Talking, is joining us now via Skype. Linden, very good morning to you. Thank you very much for your patience and for your time this morning with us here on eNCA. This is a little bit of a serious situation, but reading from earlier reports, should we be surprised that this is happening?
Hi, good morning. Look, I think as one of your colleagues has already pointed out, safety is paramount when it comes to air transport. We can't have a crisis of confidence in the air transport sector because it's so fundamental to the economy. No, I don't think there should be too many surprises. The Civil Aviation Authority plays a very important oversight role, and it tries to do that very diligently and equitably as well. It's often been criticized for having acted quite strenuously against private sector or privately owned airlines, and the perception was that they were going soft or lenient on the state-owned carriers. And I think we've seen over the last couple of years, in fact, that's not the case. They're not afraid of acting without fear or favor. And in this particular case, I think, you referred to the recent reports and the Mango incident of a few weeks ago. I think all of these things have a cumulative effect. And the CAA want to make sure that all the I's are being dotted properly and all the T's are being crossed, and that everybody doing the work at SAA Technical is the people doing the work are licensed properly and suitably qualified. And using and following the correct procedures and processes, and that the aircraft are being, kept in top-notch condition. So I think a lot of what we're going to see over the next couple of days is really about verifying that the aircraft are in the right condition and that they are fit for purpose. It's a verification exercise, as far as I can determine, as opposed to a penalty where they're saying ground the aircraft because, there's a failure. What they're saying is ground the aircraft because we have some questions and we want to verify that actually the stuff is being done correctly.
Now, Linden, CAA, which operates Kulula.com and British Airways in South Africa, we've also seen reports earlier that they want to set up their own workshops because they were not happy with SAA Technical. Is SAA Technical really doing a wonderful maintenance job? Because according to the latest CAA report, they were concerned about some irregularities at maintenance.
So I think, first of all, it's no secret that SAA Technical in recent years has had its challenges, to say the least. This was quite well known. It was something that was highlighted by the Auditor General a couple of years ago, and it's been the subject of some ongoing audits as well. And the airline management and board have taken that very seriously and have been trying to turn SAA Technical around it and root out any malfeasance and bad management, put in place better housekeeping, better tracing and tracking of components and all the things that need to be done. But, unfortunately, the SAA Technical, like so many other parts of our industry, have been affected by a loss of skills, people migrating. We work in a highly competitive global industry. SAA Technical skills are highly sought after, and their personnel are attracted, to greener pastures by better pay packages, which is something we've got to address here. And without doubt, we've got a huge requirement that needs to be addressed in terms of having a sufficient pipeline of talent, of suitably skilled talent, to maintain our aircraft and keep them flying in good condition. In terms of the CAA decision, this goes back a couple of years. It's not something new either. This was a decision that they reached because of the problems that were besetting SAA Technical at the time, and they decided that they would rather keep the control of their maintenance and the impact that had on their fleet availability and reliability. They would rather have better control over that by setting up their own maintenance facility or acting in collaboration with Lufthansa Technik. So that's what they're doing.
Now, very briefly, Linden, such a verification process that is being undertaken now, how long would it last?
I think for that we've got to wait for some clarity from the Civil Aviation Authority, and I believe that they're going to be making a statement in the next hour or so. If it's a matter of just being able to, an inspector going on board the aircraft, turning on the systems and verifying that, for example, the latest software updates have been performed on the avionics, or that the latest version of the navigation software is up to date, that should be a fairly quick process. It shouldn't take more than a few hours per aircraft. If there is something deeper and more technical that may require more detailed inspections of aircraft and engines and systems, well, then that could, again, depending on what it is, that could take a little bit longer. But okay. I'm not getting a sense that this is at this stage that this is a severe crisis. It's a disruption. There's been an inconvenience. SAA have made some contingencies. So far, there are only 4 domestic flights that have been affected, and I think CAA are doing the same. So I think for now, we've got to be very cautious about over-egging this story. I think, yes, it's a disruption, it's an inconvenience, but I don't think we're yet in a position where we should be getting too alarmed and worried. I think this is about people exercising good caution.
Which is